the singing coach, because that's what he's there for, that's what he's there to do, and you don't do that. Anyone that you know is going to be a judge, you don't start slating them, and you certainly don't go on the stage and say, oh, it's this artist, I don't like her. She could be one of the judges in the following weeks, and you don't want to put that on yourself, because you're going to potentially meet them eventually, and you don't want to cause problems with that. Unless it is someone that you absolutely know, like for example I'd possibly go and say, oh Jesus, Adele, because of my fitting towards Adele, which you'll probably find out eventually. No music. Hi everyone, so I'm back with another review. Yes, another really interesting week on Rupauls Drag Race. This challenge was rather entertaining. It was nice to see another talent being shown by the queens and to see which ones of them can actually sing and perform. I also really liked the fact that it was an 80s themed singing event, which obviously Ru is a big fan of the 80s. That's where he started out and came as big as he is now. So it's no surprise that a lot of the challenges are going to be based around that. I also absolutely adored Debbie Harry was on the panel. One of my all-time heroes, so it was really nice to see her on there showing support for the drag community. As regards the challenge this week, I do think that it was very predictable the way that the groups were going to split off. I was so rooting for the New York Queens. I think it's quite a well-known fact by now that all my favourites are the New York Queens. All my favourites this year are the New York Queens. They've always remained in the top half of my tally every single week. However, this week I don't think they performed as well as I believe that they've been deemed as best friends race team, because I think Naomi, Kimchi and Robbie Turner really turned it out this week, and Robbie Turner has literally gone from bottom of the pack to a leader. She won this week's challenge and got it was an array of wigs, which as soon as they said that I was like, oh my god, I love that. I also really think that the three of them worked really well together to create this punk band, which is very polar opposite to any of their characters and any of the creations they've ever done before on the race so far. So it was nice to see them all challenging themselves and trying something new. Talking of challenging themselves, it was nice to finally see Derek Barry step outside of the Britney box and be someone else. However, I have a feeling next week Derek Barry will go out. For the simple fact, I reckon, because we all know it's Snatch Game next week, so any bets, if Derek's going to come out as Britney and show us more Britney, which is not what we want to see. We need to see something else. He hasn't shown it so far. He's going to do really well in the Snatch Game if he does bring Britney out, but possibly destroy it and not do well at Britney and not be comedy, which is what we need on Snatch Game. So next week's going to be an interesting one to watch to see how Derek Barry actually goes and whether it ends up being the end of the line for Derek. So I think this week two of the best performers was definitely Robbie Turner and Naomi Smalls. Again, carrying on from last week, Naomi Smalls is working her way up the list for me. She's getting better and better as the weeks go on, and she's doing just continuously well with everything. Whereas I think this week, the one that's been sailing along with the similar format so far has been Bob the Drag Queen, and this week, Bob's attitude hit rock bottom. The fact that he wasn't working well with anyone else, I say not working well with anyone else, wasn't working very well with Thorgy Thor. This week, although I think Team Best Friends Race did really well this week, I think Kimchi kind of sank into the background a bit too much. And as the weeks are going on, Kimchi's sinking into the background more and more and more. Has amazing looks, makeup flawless, all of this, but not standing out in any of the challenges. Or if she is standing out, she's standing out for the wrong reasons. So I'm starting to get a bit nervous as to how soon she's going to leave. But this week it was a lip sync for your life battle between Chi Chi DeVayne and Nature Lopez. This week I actually agreed with the decision. I feel as though Nature is sailing. For someone who was brought back, she didn't seem to be fighting at all, and she wasn't turning out anything new, original, or expressing enough creativity. It was the same as last week, and I feel like it's the same this week. Chi Chi, I kind of agreed with Chi Chi being in the bottom two as well. She came out in just a bathing suit, essentially, because she didn't plan her outfits for future weeks properly. And as it was pointed out several times, she wore her Day Glow Neon outfit last week, so because she did where she could have worn something else, so it meant that she had less to work this week. She had to make an outfit, which if you haven't got any money, that's what you do. You find something from somewhere and you make it work. That's what drag's about. When it came to the dance-off between the two of them, you could see it in Naysha's eyes, she was giving up straight away, whereas Chi-Chi really tried to put some effort into it. And I do feel as though Ru did take into account the fact that Naysha was a comeback queen who was just doing mediocre. So totally agree with the decision to send Naysha out this week. She shouldn't have came back in the first place, but we'll leave it at that. So Naysha's gone. One thing I did also want to just mention as well was that I have seen a lot of talk about Acid Betty. On the last couple of weeks of Untucked, every time you get into the Untucked episode, there seems to be some sort of catty, bitchy moment between Acid Betty and somebody else. Doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter what it's about, whether it's about when Kimchi had the video message from Trixie Mattel and Acid Betty sat there the entire time bitching about Trixie Mattel, and then there's been other things that she said about other queens when they've been on the runway and things, and Acid Betty is just coming across as really horrifically bitchy, and everyone's reading her for it and saying that she's a horrible person and everything. Acid Betty's done a sensible thing. If you haven't seen it, she has said that she's going to have her own web series now on her channel, where she will be each week re-watching the Untucked episodes, Drag Race episodes, and actually reading herself. She knows that she was bitchy on the show and she didn't mean to be. It was just that she was just being herself and just being honest and talking about things, but doing it in the wrong way, and the way that it's been caught on camera, it has made her seem very bitchy. So she is going to be doing that. So this week my drag queen to watch is going to be Acid Betty, and it's going to go and watch her show and see how she actually goes on with that. I'll leave a little link in the description. From this point onwards, I am leaving links to my Facebook page, my Twitter, my Tumblr and my Instagram in the description. Feel free to follow me on any of the social medias. Stay tuned and thank you very much for watching. Bye.